All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of the show, Baseball Podcast, presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and we're diving into that Red Sox organization today. I had Marcus Phillips on, and he was the 33rd overall pick in the 2025 MLB Draft by the Red Sox. And he hasn't made a debut yet, but we do dive into what he's been up to down in Fort Myers. He also won a national championship when he was in college. So I had to ask about his Tennessee days and pitching behind Liam Doyle, too, 5th overall pick by the Cards this past year as well. So, we do kind of talk about his college days a little bit. We do see what he's been up to down in Fort Myers and getting ready for his pro debut in 2026. But before I shoot to the interview, whether you are watching me on YouTube, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is you get your episodes, please like and subscribe. I'm making a big push. I say this every episode. I'm making a big push on YouTube right now. And any subscribe on YouTube is very much appreciated by me. It is helping me a ton, and it is appreciated more than you can imagine. But I will quit blabbering here. And without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Marcus Phillips. I am joined by Marcus Phillips. And Marcus, I'm going to be honest with you. You are my second national champ that I've had on in the last couple of weeks. I had your roommate on as well, Anthony Ianson, a few episodes back. So, first of all, I do want to say, obviously, I'm a big SEC guy over here. I'm a University of Missouri guy myself. Not that we're doing so hot in baseball these days, but I want to ask, obviously, having that great career at Tennessee, I guess how was that experience for you before you even got to pro ball?
Man, it was crazy. Definitely got introduced to a high intensity environment. Being at Tennessee and obviously some passionate fans there. I traveled down to Baton Rouge, Arkansas, Ole Miss, definitely been around the league and seeing different spots. So I've definitely been introduced to, those high toxic environments. And, it's a very good experience, a lot of high level competition. And, I definitely enjoyed my time there.
I'll let you slide for not giving Columbia, Missouri on your list there. It's not, baseball program's not where it should be, but I'll let it slide on that one. But I do have to ask as well. You got a front row seat last year at a guy that went in the top 5 in the draft, in Liam Doyle, and I have to ask, you following up a guy like that in the rotation there last season, like what was that experience like for yourself? Just not even trying to compare yourself to a guy like that, but just trying to match the intensity and I guess just trying to go like start for start with him all year.
Man, definitely a special experience. Yeah, experience. I mean, it's so tough to talk about Doyle just because he's a unique guy. One of my close friends right now, and I got close with him pretty much right when he got to Tennessee. Good dude to be around. But he's a psycho on the field. He's crazy kind of act to follow up on the mound. But I felt like we were, quite the one-two punch on the weekend, which was a really cool vibe, especially being at Tennessee. And, the fans loved it. And he brought some pretty crazy energy on a Friday night. And to be able to follow that up on Saturday and try and keep the ball rolling was a really cool experience. And, we just kind of went from there, but it was definitely fun. A great guy to follow up in the rotation for sure.
I always like to, and you and Liam are good examples of this, but I always think that guys that come out of those cold weather states just have like a little more to them. Like, obviously Liam's a New Hampshire guy. You're a South Dakota guy, which you don't hear of too often. So I kind of believe that you guys got a little more, I don't know if it's like grit is the right word, but like, you got a little more character. You kind of fought your way a little harder just because you can't be outside all those months that some of those teammates you had down in Florida and Georgia and Texas and all those states. But what was life like playing baseball in South Dakota?
Yeah, no, I can't speak for Doyle on that end as far as going cold state, him being right by Boston, but baseball in South Dakota, man, it's definitely getting better. I'd be lying if I said it isn't, but it's a different experience. Like it's nothing like playing baseball down in Florida. I tell you what, like I traveled down there for those tournaments and you see guys running up 90, 91, 92 at, 17 years old on a pretty consistent basis. And man, me and maybe 2 or 3 other guys are throwing hard in South Dakota. And when I say hard, like I was throwing 89 to 91 in high school. My best friend, Jack Riddell, who's at Notre Dame, their Friday guy, he was throwing 91, 92 in high school. And aside from that, when we were playing, I think the closest to that was probably 85. And when you saw 85, it's like, dang, like this guy's throwing fuzz right now. So no wonder there's a lot of pitchers coming out of South Dakota, because the hitting, man, the hitting competition, I feel like when you get to college, I saw it as a two-way. It just kind of gets up on you fast. Like I saw 90 for the first time at JUCO ball, and I was like, dude, why is this so firm? Like I don't understand how dudes are just like comfortable with this. And it took me a while. So it's not what you would expect, unless you're expecting, guys that don't really throw that hard. It's definitely competition, but that's why you see a lot of like 2-3 sport athletes up there. And that's what I was. I was a 2-sport athlete up in South Dakota.
Yeah, I hear some guys kind of talk about that it may have been a little harder. I had a guy that just on the last episode in the Blue Jay system, and he's from right outside Vancouver up in Canada, and he was kind of talking like it was a little harder for him to get exposed to either scouts or, he didn't have a lot of eyeballs on him just because of where he was in the country. Did you have the same experience?
Absolutely, man. I didn't talk to a college coach until the summer going into my senior year. And it was a junior college coach who actually had reached out to me because the dude that was running PBR in Minnesota, Rob Allison, actually reached out for me, I think. And that's really that was the whole recruiting experience. Sorry. That's how it was for me. Like, I feel like that's what it was for Tennessee. I had been reached out to by Kansas, by Western Kentucky, but those 3 schools, the junior college I went to, and then Western Kentucky, Kansas, those were the only schools that talked to me. And 2 of them offered, and I picked one. That was really it. Very, very brief. So.
Yeah, and so you get that start at a JUCO, and then you go from a JUCO to I would honestly say it's the best. I know people are biased. I'm a little SEC biased myself, but you go and play in the best conference in the country, and I would even say the world, to play baseball and at the collegiate level. How was that adjustment period for yourself going from a JUCO to playing in the best conference in the world?
Yeah, it was a big jump for sure. I went into JUCO as a two-way. And so when I went down to Tennessee, I was originally recruited as a two-way, and I pretty much hung up the bat. I mean, I was hitting my first year, but I didn't get any at bats. Like it was difficult. And that's why I became a PO, because I just wasn't ready hitting wise. But it took me a while. I went in, they changed a lot of stuff with me, and it took a while for me to even get the right mindset to play in the SEC. And so that's why my innings were kind of limited my sophomore year. And, but it was a good experience, because I got to see other guys, pitch and compete at that high level. And, you get to learn from guys like Drew Beam and other guys, Kazi on the mound, and just see kind of how they go about their work. And I think that really helped with my jump going into my junior year.
And this was a common theme in, I would say, actually the past 2 Red Sox draft classes, of a lot of SEC arms, to say the least. I know you're fully aware that you were surrounded by a ton of guys that pitched in the SEC in this draft class. And would you say that your experiences pitching in that league, and I've heard, I talked to Miles Patton not too long ago, and he told me there's no off days in the SEC. Like you cannot take an off day in that conference. And he thinks that really helps you guys whenever you are starting your professional career. That's like, hey, I can't take an off day in this either. Do you kind of feel the same way? Like, what do you feel about your experiences in that league prepping you for pro ball?
For sure. I mean, as far as the prep goes, I feel like I was very much so prepped to come into pro ball, ready to go about my business the right way. And yeah, I mean, there's no days off when you're talking about facing different lineups on the weekend. Everybody's got those guys that can go out there and turn around mid to upper 90s, and they know what a curveball looks like. And so I can't really speak for the talent level in pro ball yet, because I just haven't played a game yet. But prep wise, I think I've definitely been, I've definitely been taught how to go about my business the right way, especially being in the SEC.
Okay. Well, I always like to show some love to some SEC there. Like I said, I'm a little biased, but I do want to jump to now that you're a member of the Red Sox. I know you haven't made your pro debut yet. I'm sure you have the itch right now because I'm assuming this could be the longest period of off time between pitching in a game in a while. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So how are you feeling right now? Just, are you itching to get back on a mound and face some live batters from other teams? Like, I guess, how are you feeling right now?
For sure. Yeah. We just got back down here. We're throwing bullpens and we're doing all that. And it's really just been good to get back down in Florida. Being up in South Dakota, you're throwing indoors, cold, off a rubber mound, and being able to get down here, be outside, throw to a real catcher, or not real catcher, but a pro catcher at that. And just, it's a lot different. So definitely anxious to get out there and throw against a hitter, especially another team playing in season, but can't really make time move much faster as it is. So just kind of playing it day by day. And I'm enjoying my time down here right now for sure.
So I guess, what kind of things have you been up to? I know you spent a lot of time at the complex before the dead period and before you went back for the holidays and everything, but and I know you just got back, but from last summer to the fall, like what kind of things have you been working on since you got to the complex?
I would say just pitch design stuff. Working on making my changeup better, adding an extra secondary pitch, slider, sweeper, whatever it is, and just making my stuff better in general. But honestly, just staying in season shape and season form and making sure that getting my arm back up to where it was endurance wise before we shut down for a little bit. And it's been tough, man, just not being able to go out there and compete like you do in college in the fall. You have fall games and stuff like that. So definitely something different that I've had to learn how to navigate through, but I'm looking forward to getting back on the mound, facing some guys and seeing some different type of hitters.
So you mentioned trying to stay in shape and just staying in that game shape there. I don't know if this is accurate, but our friends at Baseball Reference have you listed at 6'4", 250. Is that in the ballpark?
Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
Okay.
Spot on.
So throughout the year, and I've talked to I talked to Big Country as well, Carter Rasmussen, an awesome guy, but he was saying that he's added on quite a few pounds this offseason, good weight to go through a long season ahead of him. Where do you like to live like during the year? Like, do you fluctuate at all, or do you like try to stay pretty consistent with the weight?
I'd say I stay between 240 and 250. Don't really like to go above 250 very often, although I can get there just by eating. Just the way I eat a lot of food, but nah, I like to stay in that range. I feel my body feels comfortable. Moving at 245, I feel good off the mound, and so I've been there for 2 years now. I'd expect to just stay there and just keep pushing forward with that.
And with if fans, maybe if some fans up in Boston aren't too familiar with you, maybe they didn't catch a lot of Tennessee baseball the last couple of years, and maybe you're brand new to them since you haven't debuted yet. What kind of pitcher will they be seeing once you do make your pro debut? Like, what's your arsenal look like? I guess what kind of pitcher are you?
Yeah, I think definitely pride myself in my physical presence. I'm a big guy, throw hard with a cut fastball, and I like to attack hitters with it. I'm featuring a pretty good slider and sweeper, if I do say so myself, and a changeup that I've been working on a lot as of recent. So probably going to be looking at a 4-pitch mix when I start the season. And like I said, physical guy. I like to go out there and throw hard. Been up to 101, kind of sit in that mid to upper 90s range, but a guy that likes to compete. Honestly, I'm gonna have an edge to me. I'm gonna have a chip on my shoulder, like I have something to prove, and I think people are gonna see that.
So you just mentioned something that a lot of fans are obviously very intrigued in, and I think velocity is always like the number one thing on fans' mind, and for good reason. And I'm not sure if you've heard, but they're in the Red Sox organization. They've done this since last. I'm assuming they're going to do it this year as well. but they do give out shirts to every arm in the. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Are you trying to get an I Throw Fuego shirt?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. I think it's going to come naturally. I think it just going in and competing, I'm going to hit 100 and probably get a shirt. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool shirt, so for sure, I'm trying to rock that.
How did was it just like said day one, or do you hear it from like how do you hear about it?
Well, I remember going around the facility and some of the FCL players were rocking the shirt, and it's funny because you see them wearing it like every day. Because a lot of, I mean, take pride in that for sure. You throw hard, you're gonna wear the shirt, and so see, some of the guys, some of the Latin dudes that you just meet first day when you get there at the FCL, at the Fuller Complex leave, and you see them wearing it. It's like, wow, that's a pretty sweet shirt. Might have to get one of those myself.
So. Yeah. I didn't know if like, if you had Brian Abraham saying like, hey guys, you hit 100, you get this, or I didn't know how that went, but I would always, hanging out in the Worcester clubhouse, Luis Guerrero would be wearing his daily, and he let you know about it because he was the only one in the room with one at the time. And I loved it. It's they had Pedro on it last year, I think. I don't know what it looks like now. They might have changed it, but
I think that's what it was last time I saw it. So
okay, yeah, not bad. Yeah, that is, I don't know, it's just kind of like one of those cool things. It's kind of, I don't know, just like a thing that's been going on for years now. So with you making your pro debut this year, there's also another thing that you are doing for the first time, and it is your first spring training. Have you put any thought into it that, it is the one time a year where every player, coach, development staff, literally everybody is under the same roof? What are you looking forward to the most about your upcoming first spring training here?
I'm looking forward to seeing, honestly, just how guys go about their business. I'm very much so a visual learner, and you see all these videos. I know the Red Sox even post videos of Aroldis Chapman doing his off-season workouts and his pitching stuff with the towel drills and all that. And honestly, I'm just excited to see how guys go about their business, what they do daily to take care of their arm, or what they're doing on the mound, why they're doing it, and just honestly just pick people's minds and just kind of hear them out and see what they're doing, because obviously they're successful in their career. So why wouldn't I pick the brains of the most successful baseball players that are playing right now? So that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
All right, I got a few questions to ask you just to get to know you. A little non-baseball related here. I tried my hardest. Before I do a lot of these, I like to try to just do as much. I just like to do a little bit of research just to see if I can, see who you are and everything. And I'm going to be honest with you. I peeked your Instagram. You are baseball through and through. There's not a whole lot else like that you're posting about these days. And usually I see like a fish picture. I see something. So I need to know, when you're not like, training, you're not at the field, you're not doing anything baseball related. What are you doing?
Playing video games,
Okay.
playing video games, cooking. I'm not allowed to be playing 5-on-5 basketball anymore, but I've been a hooper my entire life. I'll go, and we got a low rec center in the spot that we're staying at. So I'll go over there and put some shots up every once in a while, or, I like to stay active. But I'm a pretty simple guy. When it's not baseball, it's, I might read some, I might play some video games, I might shoot some hoops, but that's pretty much what I consume my time with.
Did they not get you into golf yet?
Oh man, I can't believe I didn't say that. I've been playing golf. I try and play a good bit, but dude, I got a baseball swing, man. I got to work on that for sure.
Yeah, you got the grip and you just can't get rid of it. Yeah.
It's tough, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure though, you get a hold of one with the driver, I'm sure it goes a pretty far away. Now, if it's straight, is probably always the question. But
yeah, no, that's for sure the question.
Okay. Well, I do remember talking to Big Country. I know Carter is not good at golf, so if you need a guy to go with this spring, he might be your guy, because he apparently is horrible. So
yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised if you weren't going to say golf, because I feel like every single pitcher in pro ball is a golfer these days.
For sure. Yeah.
What are you playing these days for gaming wise?
A lot of NBA 2K. Call of Duty just came out a couple months back, so I've been playing that a lot. It's tough to say that I don't play Fortnite just because that just always comes and goes. I always add it back to my game. But MLB The Show, when it comes out, I'll play that for the first, 3-4 months, and then I'll move on. But I play a handful of games, whatever I'm feeling at that given moment.
How excited are you for the real 99 in the show?
Man, I'm fired up for sure.
Yeah, that's got a cool feeling.
I feel like we got this real 99 already, and it's pretty sweet, but it's not like an actual picture of us. So I'm hoping that when the next game comes out, we get another card and it's a little bit more detailed to what we are, what our characteristics are. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I feel like it'll probably be more closer to the real thing in the new one, just because you're in pro ball now. But it's got to be a cool feeling, man. Using yourself in a video game, that just feels like it's make believe. Like that is crazy.
For sure.
Couldn't even imagine. All right, so I did see something as well that I know that they kind of did this, and I know I kind of joked with Anthony about it, but he worked at Canes for a day, and I saw you were in a nice Canes ad there. So I always like asking a question because this is the first time I've ever talked to you before. If you had a Mount Rushmore, so I need your top 4, and I need like fast food or sit down chains, what would be your top 4 go-to places? And they can be sit down or drive through, and it's got to be like kind of nationwide-ish.
Dang, that's tough. So I'll put this on there just because it's recent. Capitol Grill. I think it's a chain.
Okay.
I think it's a chain. But there's one in Fort Myers that I went to a couple times. Oh my goodness, they got some.
There's a couple in Boston. They're good.
Okay, perfect. But that spot is fire. Besides that, I feel like sit down restaurants are usually like local restaurants I'm going to. So I'll give you the fast food 3, and I'm gonna start with Culver's. Culver's is by far probably one of my favorite fast food places. I mean, it's
good, man. The
butter burger, it's unbeatable. And yeah, it's fire. So I'll go with that. Chick-fil-A is hard to beat. They got some good food. So I'll put that up there too. And then In-N-Out. Whenever I'm on the West Coast, In-N-Out's a go-to for me. So that's my 4 right there.
So I'm assuming up in South Dakota they have Culver's. Like that's probably something that's up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Because when I moved out to the East Coast, I was telling some of my buddies up there, I'm like, listen, man, like Culver's is it's probably my favorite like fast food burger place. And they have no idea what it is.
So good.
I grew up in Illinois. I grew up down in St. Louis, and there was Culver's in every town. So it was that and Casey's Pizza. I don't know if that was up in your neck of the woods.
Casey's, man, that breakfast pizza is crazy.
I don't even get started on the breakfast pizza, man. But yeah, it's I appreciate your taste there. I was a little surprised you didn't say Canes though, after being a national champ, and I know that they probably had you guys eating some Canes, but
Canes is fire, but I might be Chick-fil-A over Canes, to be honest.
It's a hot take, man. I'm a Zaxby's guy myself, so I cannot wait to get down to Fort Myers and get that. So, all right, I got one question left, and I will let you slide here. Okay. I want to start it off. Are you like do you like to set goals? Like, do you do like a New Year's resolution? Do you do anything like that?
Very goal oriented, but I'm not like writing goals down or like number goals or anything like that. No.
Okay, so I was curious, obviously, with in your position that you haven't made the pro debut yet. You probably have had a lot of time to think about like how your first season's going to go since being drafted. So I'm just gonna put you in the time machine here, and I'm gonna fast forward to, let's just say, November of 2026, and your first full year of professional baseball is behind you. Do you have maybe something you want to have accomplished by then, whether it's like on the field, personal, off, like anything? Like what kind of thing would you like to accomplish by that time?
That's a tough question. Like I said, I don't write down a ton of goals. I'm very like goal oriented, because I have goals up here that I'm trying to accomplish day to day. If anything, I would just say like be consistent with the things that I'm doing, because there's I don't have control over everything, in the org or where I'm going to be at. So I'm obviously going to do my best, and I'm going I'm going to keep doing me. So wherever I end up, I end up. But see, I'm going to be doing good. I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, I know our good friend Brian Abraham will be watching this because he usually does, but he'll be proud of that answer, and he always going to say, "Be where your feet are." So I think that was pretty accurate there. But Marcus, I appreciate this a ton. Obviously, wishing you the best of luck in your first season here in 2026, and obviously we'll be seeing you shortly in Fort Myers. But thank you for doing this.
For sure, man. I appreciate your time.